Hey, what's up everybody? Danny Lightning here with another video, and today I'm going to show you guys a tutorial on making really cool thumbnails with a program called Snapseed, which is actually made by Google. This is the most advanced phone editing photo editor, I should say, I have seen that you can get on mobile. I don't know if this is on iOS or only Android, but we're going to go ahead and pick a photo. Alright, I just did this one earlier, so we're going to go ahead and pick a different photo. Alright, so now we're going to take the photo that I did. I'm going to hit the pop thing. I don't like filters, but for some reason, I really like this pop filter, okay? There's a bunch of different filters. Most of them don't look very good. I enjoy the pop one. So I picked pop. I'm going to hit the little check mark. Now, the first thing I'm going to do now is go to Tools. There's all these different things you can do, alright? So let's pretend I want to add some text on the left side of this photo, and I feel like I don't have enough room to add the text. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit Tools. I'm going to go to the thing that says Expand, okay? So now I'm going to pull this over to the side. I'm going to pull this up a little bit as well. Now I've got more room to work with, right? So let's go ahead and hit the check button. Now we've expanded our photo. So if you can see, it's kind of messed up over here. It's done some weird stuff because it expanded the photo. So what we're going to do is go to Tools. We're going to hit the little thing that says Healing. So we are going to heal our photo by just kind of, just run your finger. The red you're seeing is me just running my finger across the map until you get something that you like here. And it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to add a bunch of extra room to your photo. I don't really suggest doing this unless you really need to, because if you can see, that looks pretty weird. It kind of messed things up, but in the long run, if you're putting text or something up there in that background, it really doesn't matter. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to hit the check button. We're going to go to Tools, and we're going to try and smooth this out. So we're going to hit the Brush tool. We're going to go with Dodge and Burn, okay? We're going to just go ahead and go with Dodge and Burn. So now we're going to do the same thing. We are going to just rub our finger all over the screen, and it's going to make some crazy effects on the screen. You can actually change this. Alright, it's got an eraser. Okay, we're erasing some stuff, I guess. I'm just kind of playing with this right now. Alright, but this should help smooth some stuff out a little bit, or whatever. You can just kind of make that really dark up there so the center of your image stands out. You can do all kinds of stuff with this Dodge and Burn. And you know what? That looks pretty weird, pretty crazy, but this is going to be a thumbnail, so it's going to be really small. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Will, check that out. That's weird." Now, if I didn't do the whole expand thing, I wouldn't need to go through all this. All right? But you got exposure, you got temperature, you got saturation. I wish there was a blend brush. I don't see a blend on here, but that's the best we're going to do. I mean, I could have taken more time and made that better, but right now, I'm not worried about. This is just a quick tutorial. So now we're going to go back to Tools. Now the first thing I like to do, I love the whole HDR thing. So I'm going to hit HDRscape. That's going to make some stuff look pretty interesting and make it stand out. So I'm going to pick one of these that looks the best. I like this one that says People. Alright? And then on the top, very top of the screen, you can adjust the strength of this. Right there. I like that. I'm going to hit the check mark and save that. So next, I'm going to go back to Tools. I'm going to hit Curves. So the curves are kind of, you can adjust different, you pull this little bar around and it adjusts and changes different parts of the photo. So you can make it look really weird and really wacky if you want to. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and X out of that because that's not really what I want to do. So let's go back to Curves. Alright, I'm going to make that a little brighter there. That one's good. So you can kind of fine-tune this. I used to have a full-blown photo editing app at one point in time, so I'm pretty familiar with how a lot of this stuff works. Alright, so that's cool. We're going to go back to Tools. Now we're going to go to, let's try Glamour Glow. Alright, this is just an effect. Do we like the Glamour Glow? Not really. I'm going to X that off. I don't want to add that. Let's see, what else do I want to try? We can try grunge to this one. Do we want to do grunge? Let's move the effect. The effect's too strong. Alright, you can have all kinds of weird stuff going on with the grunge effect. I'm not really a huge fan of the grunge effect, but if you like some really weird stuff, you can add grunge to it. I'm going to hit the X because I don't like that. Okay, tune image. Now here we can do brightness, alright? I can adjust the overall brightness. I want that right there. Contrast. Let's adjust the contrast. For some reason I'm not able... There it is. Alright. I'm not sure what... There we go. Contrast. Let's turn that up to right there. I'm going to hit the little thing again. Saturation. I think it's a little too saturated, so let's turn the saturation down just a tiny bit. Right there. Let's go ahead and do that. Whoops. Back to tune image. I hit the wrong thing. Alright, we're going to work on highlights. Alright, those are really like bright spots. We can get rid of bright spots or add bright spots. I'm going to turn the highlights down and get rid of the bright spots. Ambience. Let's try ambience. I'm not really sure what that does, to tell you the truth. I'm going to turn that all the way down. That's kind of crazy looking. Alright. Warmth, shadows, all that's good. Let's go and try something else right now. Alright, back to tools. Let's go play with... What do I want to change here? Lens blur. Let's try a lens blur. So you can make pretty much... Let's see if you can change the size of the lens blur. Yep. You can make parts of the screen blurry. You can make parts of the screen in focus. You can do all kinds of neat stuff with lens blur. So let's go ahead and just do that. Check mark. We're just playing around with stuff right now. So part of the robot's in focus. I'm out of focus. Other stuff is out of focus. Let's see. What else do I want to mess with? Perspective. I don't really like this, but you can kind of drag things, make the perspective look weird, okay? If you want to. Notice how like everything's kind of weird and stretched out now. We'll just go ahead and add that. I don't like it, but I'm just showing you how to use this stuff. Let's see, we got drama. We can add drama to it if we want, which is more weird filters, of course. I don't think I want to add any drama to this one, so I'm going to hit the X to get rid of that. Vintage, more filters. If you want a strange looking color that makes it look old, you can do that. Noir, that means black, so this is all like different dark black and white type of filters. Tools, back to tools. You got your film grain. If you want to do film grain, you can make it real grainy. Alright, it looks like there's different film grain settings that you can pick from as well. A bunch of film grain filters. I don't like those. Tools. What else? You can make it black and white. You can adjust your white balance, okay, to make it a little more blue or a little more red. I think it's a little too red, so we're gonna make the temperature just a little bit cooler. All right, let's go with right there. Again, I'm just running you down through the very basic stuff. Tools. Let's see, curves, white balance, crop. We're going to want to go ahead and crop this maybe. Alright, so we're going to go and make sure we're doing since we're doing a thumbnail, you always want to make sure you're on a 16.9 crop. So we actually have to cut some of this out because now the photo is actually too big. Make sure you crop for 16.9 if you're doing a YouTube thumbnail. We're going to hit the check. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and hit tools. We're just going to add text. Alright, normally I would spend a little more time and make this look better, but we're just playing around with stuff. So text. Okay, lightnings. Snapseed. Whoops. Guide. Alright, there we go. Now I don't like that one, so let's go ahead and change this. No. That one looks cool. That one looks cool. No, don't like it. Don't like it. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do. These are kind of neat, kind of weird. I don't think I would use these ones for a YouTube thumbnail. Or you can just do like a line or like regular text here. Alright, regular text. Let's go with this one. Now you take two fingers and you just drag your fingers and you can make that bigger. You can make it somewhat transparent if you want. Alright, you can change the color, any color you want. Let's go with like bright red on this one. The only thing is, like, you gotta kind of match the color to what shows up best on your background. So for me, I think white's gonna be the way to go on this particular background. Let's make that a little bigger. Alright, Lightning Snapseed Guide. I'll go ahead and hit check. We're gonna add some more text, alright? Text. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick, let's see, what do I want to pick? This guy right here. Double tap to change. Super cool thumbnail. Of course, this is not really a super cool thumbnail. It's kind of crappy because I am just playing around right now, okay? The one I did earlier was way better than this, but this is just to show you how this thing works. We'll hit the check mark. Let's see, back to tools. Is there anything else we want to play with? You can put frames around this thing if you want. Alright, personally, I don't know. I don't want to have a frame, I don't think. Sometimes frames might make stuff look cool. Some of these frames are weird. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the check mark on the frame. You can enlarge this if you need to. Okay, there's our frame. Text double exposure. I don't know what that one is. I haven't figured this out. We've got vignette, which I don't know how you pronounce that word actually, but this can make the you can make the edges of the photo darker or brighter, which actually makes the subject is the robot there. So making the edges of the photo a little bit darker or brighter can draw attention right to, alright, your subject, which is the robot, which is the Wayland right there. You can change all of this. I'm not exactly sure how you change that. Alright, maybe when I click on this, let's try this inner brightness. That's changing the inside. Okay, now I get it. This program's a little different than things I've used before. So outer brightness, if you click that, it adjusts the brightness of the edges. Of course, you don't want to go too dark, okay? You don't want to go too dark. That darkened it up. That's really drawing attention to the subject. We can brighten that up even a little more to draw maybe some more attention. Of course, you don't want to get it too brighter. It's going to start washing out. Now, that actually looks pretty decent, right? Maybe if I would have done something a little better with the text, that would look super, super cool right now. Retro Lux. I don't know why anybody would want to add something like this. I really don't. Like I said, I just hate almost all filters. I mean, of course, there's all kinds of stuff you can do to them, but I can't stand filters for the most part. Details. Let's go to details. Let's see if we can add more detail or less detail. So now the photo looks really soft. If we turn it up, it's basically sharpening the image to make the details come out. So we're going to add more details. You see how nice this is looking? Even though this went from kind of a crappy looking thumbnail to a pretty awesome one, just from changing some settings. Alright, adding that detail really made things pop right now. Tools, let's see, what else is there? White balance, crop, rotate. If you want to rotate the whole thing, alright, you can get perfect. You can do weird stuff. You can do whatever you want. Personally, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to rotate anything. Let's go back to the tools. Perspective, expand, selective, brush, healing, HDR, tonal contrast. I can't really figure out this working. I don't see this doing anything when I try to adjust it, so I can't actually figure out what this setting does. Ooh, I see that one doing something. That's actually bringing out a little more detail. Let's turn the midtones up. The low tones, let's see what this does. I don't really see a difference when I change the low tones. Alright, the shadows. This might be kind of interesting. Now that I can see doing something. It's making the shadows just a little bit darker. Project highlights. That will make the lighter parts a little lighter. Get rid of some of the shadows. So we don't want to have too much shadows. Let's go ahead with about right here. I'll hit the check mark. Alright, I think we've covered everything on here, haven't we? Portrait, I don't know what that is. Alright, you gotta have a person. There's a couple on here that you have to have a person's face, like, real nice up there on the screen in order to see it. Portrait and head pose. I don't know what either one is. I haven't played with them yet because of that. I don't know double exposure. Film grain, healing, rotate, expand, selective brush, crop, white balance curves. So I think we've gone over every single setting. So if I hold the button down, this is what we started off with, and this is what we ended up with. Alright? This looks way more interesting than this, doesn't it? So if I were just to add this photo right here and just add some text, that would probably look nice as well, but man, that looks a million times better. So anyways, that is my tutorial for making thumbnails on Google Snapseed. This is definitely the best app I have seen for a phone. So I'm not actually going to save that because I don't need this for anything. This is the one I made earlier. This is the one that won on my YouTube. You know, the other one almost looked better. I should have done the, you know what, let's go ahead and I'll show you exactly what I should have done on this one. Back to tools, back to the Vingate or whatever setting it is. I wish I knew how to pronounce that word. Let's find that. I should have done that. Alright, I should have done this to it right here. That looks better, doesn't it? Darken the edges. That really makes the subject in the center pop. He's almost too bright, to tell you the truth, so let's go with inner brightness, and we're going to tone that down so he's not quite so bright. That thumbnail right there actually would have probably looked better than what I posted. But you know what? That's okay. Both of them look very good. Alright? Both of them look very good, so let's X that out. So that's the difference between what I had and what I have now. It just gives you guys a really cool idea of how to use this and what the settings do. Generally, it's going to take you about, I don't know, in 10 to 15 minutes you can have a really cool thumbnail. You can spend much less time than that if you want, if you just want to do some real basic stuff. Eventually you'll kind of get an idea of which settings you'll want to use and which you don't. That way you don't have to go through every single setting and play with them all. That'll save you a bunch of time. I mean, 5 to 10 minutes, you'll have a really awesome thumbnail, alright? So this is just kind of, we went through pretty much every setting and how to use it for the most part. So anyways, I will catch you guys later. See ya.